Hi, everybody. Hello. It is fantasy alarm time. Oh, I'm going to move my microphone so you can hear me. Would you like to hear me?
Hello.
Do I sound amazing now?
You sound absolutely amazing. Absolutely. In double time there.
In double time, right? This is life. This is so good. This is what it's all about, you guys. Happy week 13 to you, Howard. How's life?
Life's pretty good, actually. Saw some great news about Alshon Jeffrey signing a 4-year deal. That puts him much more on my radar this week. Saw Andy Reid passing off play calling duties, hoping that, that solidifies Hunt back in our good graces. But, I don't know. I don't know if Andy Reid's going to be standing over the guy being like,
I'm surprised he gave up his calling duties. Like, it very much shocks me. And
he's been getting roasted in the media.
I know he's been getting roasted, but it's still Andy Reid. He's an old man. He has decided that this is his life in a way that surprises me. And he's stubborn and he has his ways, and I'm just concerned about all of it. But maybe I'm overreacting, and I think that's kind of the point, right? Maybe we are all overreacting to what's going on, and we need to just accept that this is the world in which we live. And Andy Reid has, for whatever reason, given up, not for whatever reason, for a very clear reason, given up his play calling duties. I do think this is a big boon for Kareem Hunt. In my opinion, there is no way, if you listen to anything, if you listen to any of your scouts, any of the guys in the tape room, anything, everyone's saying you need to run the ball more and stop doing stupid trick plays. I mean, that is the big problem with them, right?
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest problem with them right now.
And Alex Smith got spooked with the first interception that he threw right before the bye, correct? And then since then, it's just been a disaster. He's gotten nervous again. He doesn't like making mistakes, and so he keeps making mistakes. So they need to also get him out of his head and say, listen, you know what? Every once in a while, you're going to have to throw it downfield to Albert Wilson. We apologize that that's the only option you have, but that's what you're going to have to do to keep. And you know what? I was proud of Dallas actually on Thursday, because I kept saying over and over again, just throw the ball to Alfred Morris just a couple times. I'm not saying he's a pass catching back. No one's saying that. But at least let the defense know there are other options when he's back there. For God's sake, get it together, people. Like, we're all watching the same game and we know exactly what you're going to do. And the rest of us aren't coaches. So I'm glad that they got it together. Hopefully that's what they do over there in Kansas City as well. I mean, listen, when none of us have been happy with the Kareem Hunt production, right? So, but I do think this changes a lot. And we're already getting a ton of questions. If you guys have questions, of course, please ask here on Twitter, on Periscope, that is. And for some reason, my Periscope is a little funky town. So I'm going to do something else here. But on Facebook, we're already getting your questions, and also on YouTube. So don't you worry, everybody. We are here for you, and we are so excited to be here with you this week. All right. So our first question is Flex Standard, and this is a longer one. Oh, no, it's not. We expanded. It just was entered. Westbrook, Rogers, Cup. So Jacquizz Rodgers, Cooper Kupp.
Or Dede Westbrook. Yeah, I'm going to go to Cooper Kupp here. Sammy Watkins going to get the Patrick Peterson shadow, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to end up happening. Kupp saw amazing targets last week. I wish he got into the end zone, but I think he's going to repeat going up against Arizona. Honey Badger covering out of the slot. Not really that great of a matchup for the Cardinals here. So I dig it.
I agree with you. And I think that...
What? What's up?
Well, I feel like this game is going to be a little more intriguing than we think, the Cardinals versus the Rams. I feel like that division always plays each other hard. I think that some people are worried this is going to be just a gruesome blowout for the Rams. I just don't see that happening. And I know that they're obviously better than the Arizona Cardinals on paper and in real life. Don't get me wrong. But don't you feel like this team just always just gets it with each other? Or this division, I'm sorry. Like, even when the Rams can't win a game at all, they can still somehow beat Seattle in Seattle. It's just a weird division, right? A little bit of a Wild West game here.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the Cardinals, though, and I got to say, without Adrian Peterson in the lineup, because he's supposed to be out today now, there's no ground game.
Yeah.
So why not just, why not fall back into coverage a little bit more with Gabbert? He's got the receivers. You take away Fitz, you take away Seals Jones, and then really, where's Gabbert going to end up going? So I don't really. I kind of like the Rams in this one here. I don't necessarily know just how close it's going to be. Bruce Arians, he's another one of those guys who just kind of talks himself or overthinks himself out of a game.
So who would you consider then, because it is a good matchup for the running backs, would you consider a Cardinals running back?
No, absolutely not.
So you don't care that you don't think that there's a possibility, especially in DFS, to maybe plug someone in there. I mean, I
Listen,
guess
if you want to use DJ Foster or Kerwin Williams in your lineup, screw it. Pay a couple of bucks more. Get Seth Roberts in there. Use Frank fucking Gore. I don't know how many times people are ignoring the fact that Gore is less than 50 yards away from this record. Okay, I'm telling you, I talked about it all day on air. I threw it into my optimal lineups on DK as a low budget flex. Pagano wants him to get this record. He wants to get this record.
Oh yeah,
the Jags D is solid, yes, but let's face it. What are you going to have Jacoby Brissett pass against this secondary? No, you're going to feed Gore the volume here. So, I'm sorry, but I mean, if you're gonna pay down for running back, there are plenty of other options that you can use besides the Cardinals, who suck.
All right.
Suck.
I will say this: if you are trying to really differentiate yourself in a GPP because of this matchup against the Rams, I'm going to say the name Elijah Penny. He was promoted from the practice squad. He was pretty decent in preseason, undrafted guy. I mean, he's just a total dart throw. But listen, some of you want him at $1 million, and you're not going to do it if you're going to put someone boring in. But you can do it if one of these guys just goes bananas for his first career start. You just kind of go, well, but if you're one of the people that's playing Josh Gordon with pride, then why not put in Elijah Penny is all I'm going to say, because at least that guy has a good matchup. All right. So
God, light money on fire here, guys. Go ahead, do it. Light it ablaze. That's great.
I'm just saying one of these people has a good matchup. The other one's playing against the Chargers. All right, LaFell or Eli Rogers to cover Antonio Brown on Monday Night Football. And then would you play Mariota over McCown?
I would use McCown over Mariota, and I would probably go with LaFell pivot instead of Eli Rogers. I think that, I think you're going to see a lot of Juju Smith-Schuster. I think you're going to see some passes to the tight ends. But to me, it puts Jesse James a little bit more up on the potential targets leaderboard here for Pittsburgh. So,
intriguing, Jesse James. I like that. I think so too. I think that Pittsburgh's a really good defense, and so they're going to have to get a little creative on the Bengals side of the ball, and I think that includes Brandon LaFell. He just every once in a while, when they get creative, when they know they're playing a good team, that's when Brandon LaFell does really well. So I agree with you. Flex PPR, and by the way, McCown for sure over Mariota. I tweeted out last week, I stand by my words, Marcus Mariota should not be your starting quarterback in a fantasy football league. If you want to play him in DFS?
What if it's a 2QB? What if it's 2QB league?
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, everybody's a quarterback in a 2QB league. There aren't any on the waivers. Hello, of course. But in real life, in real, regular leagues, he is just, even in good matchups, you guys, it's amazing. Go look at the game log and then try to fight me on this. You can't. The numbers do not lie. Flex, PPR, Booker, Marquise Lee, or Marvin Jones Jr.?
Booker, Marquise Lee, or Marvin Jones Jr. That's a tough one there.
Yeah.
That's a tough one there.
I'm not Booker.
Yeah, I'm not going to go with Booker either. I'm thinking Marquise Lee. A lot of us are on D.D. Westbrook, and I think D.D. Westbrook coming out of the slot is going to be great. You look at what happened in the last time these two teams played, and it was Allen Hurns who had 8 catches for 106 yards coming out of the slot, whereas Marquise Lee had 4 or 5 catches and 50 or 60 yards. So, I don't think D.D. will get the exact same volume that Hurns did, but I think it's either going to be Lee or Westbrook here, and I would go with Lee.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I like Marquise Lee. I think that the Detroit Lions, though, are only going to throw. I mean, I think it's going to be just an insane game, and he gets just so many targets. So I understand the desire to play him, even if it's not a fantastic matchup. So, but for me, Booker's an absolute no. But we're going to go Marquise Lee because of all the reasons that you mentioned. Need a flex after the dud Pirine and on Thursday. Yep. Hunt or Alshon?
Oh my God. Ooh. Wow. I mean, I should say Hunt. I should, no matter what. Alshon Jeffrey signs a 4-year deal with the Eagles. The dude is happy. He is in a place who has clearly shown, a team has clearly shown that they want him. They love him. What he's got going on with Wentz right now is unbelievable. Earl Thomas is questionable for the game. You're already got down Richard Sherman. You're already down Cam Chancellor here. I think Wentz goes into Seattle and does like what Deshaun Watson did to Seattle in Seattle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going Alshon Jeffrey.
Oh, baby, I love him.
Okay, I like it. Yeah. Listen, I mean, Seattle's defense obviously isn't the same. They have tons of injuries. Alex Smith or Matt Stafford? I find this intriguing.
Ooh, yeah, and I'm going to go with Alex Smith here. This Detroit Baltimore game, I'm telling you, this is like 12-9. Get your shares of Matt Prater right now. I hate this game from an offensive standpoint here. I'm fading Marvin Jones. I'm fading Golden Tate. Somebody asked me about Theo Riddick. I almost pissed my pants laughing. I think that this game is all field goals here. All field goals.
I mean, when you're talking to me about Theo Riddick, you're in a bad place, my friend. Need flex on
3,400 on DraftKings.
Carr or McCown? I'm going McCown here.
I'm going McCown here as well.
I think they're just going to run out Marshawn Lynch because the Giants aren't going to do diddly squat.
Can we go back to the whole Robbie Anderson debate here again? Because I'm
always
scrolling. I'm scrolling through my Twitter timeline here again. I'm trying to answer all these questions for everybody at the same time as doing the live stream here. Listen, guys, I don't. What is it about Robbie Anderson that you people hate so much? I mean, is it the jet stank? If it's the jet stank, this is where you need to get over it. Because Robbie Anderson has 6 touchdowns in his last 5 games. He's caught touchdowns in 5 straight. Chiefs are giving up the 2nd most fantasy points to the wide receiver position. Even if you think Hunt beats the shit out of the Jets, and Kelsey gets his, and Tyreek Hill gets his, well, then guess what? The Jets are going to have to air it out, which puts the ball in Robbie Anderson's hands again. Come on, people. Seriously. I'm done answering Robbie Anderson questions. I might, if you include Robbie Anderson in your question here on the live stream, I refuse to answer it. Brandon will take care of it for me.
Yeah, and you know what, you guys? 5 games in a row with a touchdown. 5. And the Kansas City Chiefs have allowed 16 touchdowns to opposing wide receivers, which is the absolute most in the National Football League. So I just, listen, and I know that a lot of people are like, I don't like touchdown dependency and touchdowns are fluky, but they're not fluky if that's your role.
You know who's not touchdown dependent? Guys who get 15 targets a game and catch 10 passes.
And there are like 3 of
those. Yeah. It's like DeAndre Hopkins, Adam Thielen, and Antonio Brown. Those are the only 3 guys who aren't friggin' touchdown dependent. So stop saying shit like that, people.
Yes.
You guys are taking terminology that you hear on SiriusXM or you read it, and then you throw it out there without even knowing what the frick it means.
Exactly. And I'm sorry. Who doesn't want 6 points?
I love all of you, but stop. Seriously.
Yes. And it's one of the things that's always driven me crazy. I love stats, you guys. I am a stat nerd. Don't get me wrong. And I understand that there is an element of, I don't call it flukiness, but certainly you can't rely on consistent touchdown points, which obviously give you 6 points. But you guys, 6 points is 60 yards. So it's big enough that you need to always pay attention to it. So I understand that a lot of people talk about, I don't care about him, but I would care about it if you want to win. So in this particular case, now there's a lot of talk about your couch maybe, or I don't know. I'm a little lost with the couch talk here, you guys, about the blue couch being for sale. Can you throw the couch out there? Close up.
Oh, the couch over here? You guys want this couch?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's all furniture nerd. Get to the couches. These players need to sit and relax after games. How much for the couch? Close up of the couch. We got a lot of couch talk here. Chill, Howard, and get on with the couch auction. The
Who
term
is this?
couch gang. We got all of these people. There's Cooch Sheriff, Colin. I like that couch. I don't like fluky couches. That's Swede sectional. We got a lot of I think couch people here trolling you. Is there a couch joke? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Just the couch, please. Yeah, okay. Well, $6.75 for the couch. Well, that might be something he thinks about.
$675 or $6.75?
$6.75. Someone said $6.50 and they raised it. So wow. Okay. Well, I'm having a hard time sorting through all the couch comments here on Facebook. So I'm going to go over to Twitter because I don't even understand what's going on here. Okay. So on to Twitter and people that want to talk about football. Okay. All right. So Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Robbie Anderson, Adam Thielen, PPR. I have to sit one. I answered this question actually, Fantasy FB Fiend, on my Q&A Saturday. I said to sit Keenan Allen. And I know that sounds crazy, but you have a crazy question. These are all obviously starters for most people. It's Mike Evans again, Robbie Anderson, and Adam Thielen. And for me, Keenan Allen has the biggest chance of being in a game that's a blowout where they won't need him. That was my thought on this.
And again, I talked about this on the air the other day as well, and it's a reason that Melvin Gordon is sitting in my cash lineups here, people, because the bottom line is that Cleveland's defense just blows. It absolutely blows. If they get 2-3 scores ahead, the Chargers, that is. And now let's also remember DeShone Kizer, huge interception rate. The guy is just a mess. He's coughed up 7 fumbles, 4 of them he's lost. So I see the Chargers defense getting in on the action here. Chargers go up 3 scores. What the hell are they going to pass for? So
yeah. I think this could be an Austin Eckler week because I think that at the end of the game they're just going to have him do him. I think that's very possible. I just think that this is ugly. This is really ugly. Because the 2 best pass rushers in the National Football League, no joke, are on the Los Angeles Chargers. And they also have cornerbacks that are pretty much as good as you can get. So that's why I'm also down on Gordon. I'm down on Corey Coleman. I'm down on DeShone Kizer. And I know Kizer's had really good games, 2 of his last 3, but he wasn't playing the Chargers. Because the Chargers are really, really good. So that's why I'm going to take, even though Keenan Allen's been red hot, he could score 2 touchdowns before he's not used anymore in the second half. But for me, you just mentioned 3 other fantastic players that I think they're going to be used regardless. So that's why I'm going Keenan Allen. And that's not a slam on Keenan Allen. It's just a slam on the Browns. And Browns are always going to Brown. And you remember that.
I mean, listen, Allen might get a touchdown, sure, but, he also might only put up like 50, 60 yards at the same time. So, I mean, that's really where the question, the concern is that not that, I don't think he's going to get into the end zone at all. He's not going to give you the 172 yards and 2 touchdown game that you guys are all hoping for.
Yeah, Burkhead or Mixon in the flex.
I'm going Burkhead here. I actually think that we're going to see another big ground attack from the Patriots here. I like Dion Lewis. I like Rex Burkhead as well, and I think that that's kind of what we're going to see as far as this matchup goes. Because Buffalo's run defense is just a disaster, an absolute disaster. And Belichick is just going to be like, screw it, why not? Just hammer it. If they can't stop the run, they can't stop the run. Yeah,
exactly. So I agree with you. I think that the Mixon breakout last week was because the Browns are terrible. I don't think it's about Joe Mixon. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are very good. So there you go. I need 1 wide receiver. We got Demaryius Thomas, Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Ooh, that's actually a nice group there.
It is. And we don't have any insider info, at least I don't, about Antonio Brown's situation. I am under the impression from everything that I heard yesterday and this morning is that it is a true game time decision. So if you have Antonio Brown, you need to make sure that you have someone else on Monday. If you are looking for a desperate person to plug in on Monday in case he doesn't play, we talked a little bit earlier about Brandon LaFell. He's available in most leagues. So if you can make room for him on your bench, that would be our suggestion, right? I mean, you have to play Antonio Brown if he's playing, but we can't guarantee that. So that's what we would do, right, Howard?
That is exactly what we would do.
But Juju, obviously, we can't tell you as well if Antonio Brown's playing or not, so it affects how we feel about Juju as well. But Juju always has a little bit of touchdown upside, although not as much, in my opinion, on the road and against the Bengals. I think Stephon Diggs is a really great option here with Desmond Trufant out. I think he's pretty good. And then Cooper Kupp is the volume guy, and it is a full point PPR.
Give me those names again.
Demaryius Thomas, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I actually like Thomas in this one here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Simeon definitely leans heavily on him. And if you look at Xavier Howard's coverage numbers, I mean, he's atrocious. So I kind of like Demaryius here. Only reason I'm saying, you know, I'm pausing on Diggs is because I know Dan Quinn doesn't like to shadow. He doesn't usually like to do that, but he's going to probably leave Brian Poole in the slot. Which I think is you know, a nice advantageous thing for Thielen. But then I think that he could end up using Alfred on Diggs a whole lot more in this matchup. So I kind of shy a little bit away from that if I see somebody like Demaryius Thomas, who does have an absolute fantastic matchup against the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, so here's my confusion about the following defenders at this point for both the Rams and the Vikings. If you really look at these teams, though, the number one wide receivers on those teams are Adam Thielen and Cooper Kupp. Okay, so I'm not quite sure if the standard rules apply for following in the way that we think they are, and that's the only thing that makes me a little bit nervous. If I was Atlanta, I'm much more worried about Adam Thielen than I am Stephon Diggs. If I'm the Arizona Cardinals, I am much more worried about Cooper Kupp just like getting those little chunks down the yard than I am about Sammy Watkins breaking it out for one touchdown. I can give you one touchdown on a big pass, but if Cooper Kupp's going to be just taking catching like 9 passes on me in little like 10, 12 yard chunks, that's how they're going to kill us, because they also have Todd Gurley to go in there and lay down the hammer. So I'm worried. To me, this question is great because all of them are good. But so who out of those 4, let's just like be solid. Which is the one for sure?
The one that I like for sure is Demaryius Thomas.
All right. And probably because of all of these defensive things we're talking about. Great. Pick 2, Blake Bortles, Josh McCown, Jameis Winston.
Blake Bortles, well, I mean, the safe play is McCown. I do like Winston this week. I think Winston is an interesting dart throw here. Listen,
I like Bortles.
It's a run first. It's a run first.
Against Indy, they can do whatever they want.
You say that. Indy's only given up 1 rushing touchdown in their last 4 games.
Yeah, which is why they're going to throw.
You think? I don't know about that.
So hold on. They're going to run all the time, but Indy's only given up 1 rushing touchdown. So you don't think they're going to?
And it was last week, and they're going to get pounded. They're going to get pounded by Fournette. I think. I mean, listen.
I think this could be a big Marquise Lee week. I think there's a possibility this is also a confidence booster game for Blake Bortles, where they say, "Listen, we're on our way to the playoffs, dude. You gotta play like you're a playoff quarterback, and I need you to get it together." And I think they maybe use this to boost it. But I just think Jameis Winston is back, but he brings his inaccuracies with him. I don't know. I mean, the Packers are a really good matchup, but I mean,
Packers are a delicious matchup. I'm still going on McCown. McCown is my main guy.
Yeah.
But I would do Winston over Bortles here. I just think that they're going to pass a lot more. I think the cover corners on the outside for Green Bay are absolutely atrocious. I think he's going to lean heavily on Mike Evans. I heard Cameron Brate is back in now all of a sudden. So now you've got Brate and O.J. Howard because Deshaun Jackson's a little banged up. I think those are 3 solid weapons. What are they going to do? They're going to hand the ball off to Jaquiz? Blah! That guy blows.
I think it might be Jaquiz. I am intrigued by this game. I just feel like Jameis Winston is just he and Marcus Mariota were incredibly overrated in the preseason and continue to be IMO. Stack Bradford Thielen. Obviously, you meant Keenum, I'm assuming, and absolutely you can do that every time. Tyreek Hill, Lamar Miller in standard. I would go Lamar Miller.
Would you?
In standard? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I'm still a little worried about Kansas City, and I just feel like Lamar Miller is like a volume hog. So
I know. I just hate Lamar Miller with a passion. Like I really hate Lamar Miller.
It's a bad matchup, but he's been surprisingly decent. And Tyreek Hill's just so boom or bust. He could have 2 touchdowns. He could get you 1 point. I mean, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, so, he does have a low floor, which is very disappointing.
Yeah, it is. Standard need to put tight end Doyle or Thomas or ASJ. This is interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think Yeah, okay. So Doyle sees a bunch of targets, but the matchup really isn't that great. Julius Thomas won't see a lot of targets or yards, but I do think he gets into the end zone this week. And God does not want Austin Seferian-Jenkins to ever score a touchdown again. And there was proof of that last week. How many he lost 2 touchdowns last week. He lost one earlier. Yeah. God hates Austin Seferian-Jenkins. I don't mean to get religious on anybody here. It might not be God. It could be Allah, Buddha, whoever it is that you pray to, the divine spirit, the universal spirit that ties and binds all things, hates Austin Seferian-Jenkins.
Yep, agreed. I think Thomas is the guy. However, Doyle, the last time he played the Jacksonville Jaguars, did get a touchdown, and then also he is going to be awesome. He's the only person that Jacoby Brissett throws to. So I'm intrigued by that, but I still think Thomas in the revenge game has the more upside in ASJ, just like you said.
The revenge narrative. Jamal Williams or Hunt? Listen, guys, just so you know, Aaron Jones is going to be active today. At least that's the last report that I saw. Hunt, no question. There's no Sharkandrick West. They're going to feed him volume. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, okay. Jameis or Alex?
Jameis or Al? I'm going Jameis here. I think he's just got better upside than Alex Smith does.
Yeah.
You disagree? It's okay. Brandon, discourse is a wonderful thing here. If you disagree, say, Howard, you're a fucking idiot. I disagree with you.
I feel like I should. I'm pausing because I feel like I should be more into Jameis Winston in his matchup, and I'm trying to be professional about that. I just keep remembering his horrible inaccuracies and that he had a shoulder injury. Is he fully back or not? I mean, I just have all these questions. But Alex Smith has stunk, and I'm hoping that he's going to be better with the new play calling, but we're not quite sure. There's more chances, so I guess we'll go with Jameis here because we're just going to plan on the Green Bay Packers being as bad as we know they are. That's where I'm at, but I don't feel good about it. That's where I'm at. Marvin Jones Jr. or Ted Ginn Jr., Standard League. Ginn, revenge game. Let's do it.
I like Ginn this week. I got him in my lineups here. Absolutely. I'm with you 100% on Ginn.
And also, look at his game log, you guys. He's been getting crazy volume. Now he's getting more volume than the last time he played Carolina. And the last time he played Carolina, he scored a touchdown. I feel like he's going to be fine. Hilton Cobb or Travis Benjamin, Standard. Yes, that's called ugliness.
That's pretty ugly.
Woo!
I'm gonna go with Cobb.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Cobb because Tampa Bay's defense is just pitiful.
Yeah, worried about, obviously, Jacksonville kills Hilton here. And then Benjamin, the problem is, again, I think, why would they need to throw to Benjamin against the Browns? These are my questions. Is Breeze a solid option for DFS cash on DK?
I think you can use him. I definitely think you can use him in this matchup with Carolina. It's not, the ideal. It's not the be-all, end-all, but, I mean, it's still a solid matchup for him. I think, I think we tend to forget about how good Carolina's run defense is. So, I'm not really in love with either Ingram or Kamara this week. So I think Breeze is definitely usable.
We don't know about Antonio Brown yet. Kyle Rudolph or Evan Engram, 0.5 PPR. You got to move Kyle Rudolph.
Kyle Rudolph. Don't listen.
Don't touch the Giants, you guys. Please. We like you.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Hands off. It's like a stovetop when you're a child. Don't do it. Do I set Antonio Brown for Josh Gordon? I don't have an option or another Monday night guy. Please check to see if Brandon LaFell's out there. But
you find out Tyler Boyd even. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, if there's nobody, seriously, if you have nobody and there is nobody, there are no wide receivers sitting on your waiver wire, and I mean zero, then go ahead, start Josh Gordon. That's the thing. Everybody out here is looking for an excuse to start Josh Gordon. I said this on the air. If your playoff life depends on it, if there is money riding on this game, you're about to be the first team overall in points and you need points so that way you can win that money, then I'm not putting anything on Josh Gordon. If you don't give a shit, Like if you absolutely don't care, you don't need to improve seeding, you don't need to make the playoffs, you're already locked in, you're the number one guy, you have a bye week coming up, whatever the case may be, like if there's nothing riding on it, then go ahead and use Josh Gordon. You guys see in the optimal lineups here, I did a couple of GPP dart lineups for you guys. And I gave you Josh Gordon. Go ahead. Used it that way. Light some money on fire. But if you have anything at stake that you even remotely care about, just don't do it. It's just not. I mean, it's not even the fact that it's Josh Gordon. It's going up against the Chargers secondary. And, you know, Casey Hayward is playing. And this is like probably what the second best second. It's probably the first best secondary right now in the NFL because Seattle's all beaten up right now. So,
and the Broncos have a horrible quarterback situation, so they're not playing as well as they normally are. I agree. I think this is one of the best defenses in the league. I think DeShone Kizer is going to have dreams about Bosa for the rest of the season.
These are nightmares.
Nightmares. Yeah. I mean, really sad, scary nightmares. Yeah. So I agree with you 110%. And if you listened to me at all this week at any point, I was basically talking about this. Standard scoring quarterback gets 6 for a touchdown. Does Breeze get 20 plus points? Should. Russell Wilson or Wentz? This is great. I love that they're playing each other. I think they're both going to score over 20 fantasy points. I don't think you can go wrong. But if you were to make this call, Howard, which one?
Carson Wentz. He's the best.
I'm going
I love
Russell
Carson
Wilson.
Wentz.
He's 80% of their offense. Yeah.
Should we put a bet on this? Let's do an avatar bet.
Sure.
Let's do an avatar bet. What do we want to do? What do we want to do this time? You have to put Joe Mixon as your avatar, but you can't tell people that you lost a bet this time. How about that?
But that's not funny. That's just sad.
Aww.
What if I put your face as my avatar?
There you go. There you go. You
That's
put
it.
Howard Bender's mug on your. What about me? Do I use your avatar if Wilson? You can have any avatar you want, Brandon. Any avatar you want.
Yeah.
Twitter's never going to verify me for whatever reason they so choose, so I couldn't care less about what my avatar looks like. You want me to do like a shot of some like homeless dude's butt crack? I can do that. You tell me, Brandon.
I'll have to think about it. I'll tell you at the end of the show. 0.5 PPR, McKinnon, Booker, or pick up Burkhead? I would pick up Burkhead.
Oh, I love McKinnon here. I do.
I read about that. Go ahead. Tell the people what you think.
All right, so here's my feeling is that he's still going to share some carries with Latavius Murray, but I kind of dig this narrative right now going down. So McKinnon grew up in Marietta, Georgia. He played for Georgia Southern. He has extensive friends and family coming to watch him play. I know that, Mike Zimmer, as big a douche as he can be with his quarterback, is going to get McKinnon the ball here. I think McKinnon is going to be a great play. And I love the fact that he can take it to the outside wherever Adrian Claiborne is not.
Yeah.
You love your narratives. Come on.
I do. I love the narrative. I just also think that Burkhead has a lot of upside against Buffalo because frankly, the Patriots eat Buffalo for breakfast. That's what they do. So I'm intrigued by that. But yeah, okay. And McKinnon, I would do both of those guys over Booker, though. We completely agree on that.
Yeah,
so that's 100% there. Devontae Adams or McCaffrey in the flex PPR?
Ooh. I would probably I'd still go with McCaffrey.
You're not worried about the injury? He's not on the injury report anymore. He did come off of there, but it was a shoulder injury, and he's a pass-catching guy. But okay, yeah. It's also a good matchup for the Packers against those Bucks. It
is against the Bucks, and we all know that Brett Hundley does love Devontae Adams. So I would say, all right, here you go. I'll say the higher floor goes to Adams for this matchup, but I think the higher ceiling, no, that doesn't work either.
No, I think you have to go Adams, right?
Just go Adams. Why not?
Great options, though. Who is Wilkes? Both of them are really good. Standard scoring quarterback. Okay, we already talked about that. Smith or McCown. Also, Taylor is available for pickup. Looking to for today and which to keep going forward. Today it's McCown, right?
Yes.
If you have to play 2, which I think you might be asking that, I kind of like Tyrod Taylor for garbage points here. I know we've been talking about how Alex Smith is, I think, going to be better this week, but for me, I think Tyrod Taylor has a higher floor against the Patriots because I think he's going to have to sling it around.
I don't love the matchup for him. I think Belichick will do whatever he can, but I can't put my trust into Alex Smith right now. Not until I see what the new play calling even looks like.
Yeah, we just don't know what that looks like, so it's hard for us to tell you. But Antonio Brown owner, Corey Coleman, Orleans Darkwa, Jerick McKinnon, Corey Davis available, or I have LaFell waiting. I think you keep LaFell waiting, man. I don't know how wouldn't you hate to have AB just sitting there on your bench because he played these other guys? I mean,
I would hate it as well. I mean, it's a little nerve-wracking here with missing practice again on Saturday. But you know what? I'll say this. How about this? Because I said this earlier also. In the last 5 times that Adam Pac-Man Jones and Antonio Brown have faced off against each other, Antonio Brown has, in 5 games, 2 touchdowns, only 1 100-yard game. Like, Pac-Man Jones really deals with him in a great way. Gets into his head. He does a good job with coverage. I think he knows Brown's movements extremely well. They faced each other a lot, and I was down on Brown even before the toe injury was even announced. So I would probably still wait for that pivot and use a guy like LaFell, but I wouldn't begrudge you saying, you know what, screw it. LaFell is too spotty, and I'll take what I can with McKinnon.
So then who are you taking? Corey Coleman, Orleans Darkwa, Jerick McKinnon, Corey Davis. You're going McKinnon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Out of that group, I think that's what you do. Corey Davis would be number 2 for me on that. PPR need 2. Larry Fitzgerald, Davante Adams, Tyreek Hill.
Larry Fitzgerald, Davante Adams, and Tyreek Hill. Ooh, I mean, I guess you got to go Fitz and Adams here for me. Again, you're going to... Yeah, you're going to probably see, a lot of Morris Claiborne on Tyreek Hill anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got Hilton Cobb. We already did that one. We did that one. Breeze or McCown? I mean, you don't sit Breeze for McCown, right? I mean, I know that's
No, you definitely don't. You definitely don't sit Breeze for McCown.
Especially when he's at home. Guys, it's fine. I know the Breeze hasn't been 5,000-yard guy. By the way, it is official. Rashard Matthews is inactive for Week 13 against Houston.
Ooh, that does give Corey Davis a little bit of a boost. A little bit.
But he's a little bit like Zay Jones. He's going to get 10 targets and catch 4. Duke Johnson or Alex Collins? Well, let's be real. I mean, I also love that everyone's like showing the levitating video of Zay Jones. Like, A, dancers don't do that all the time. It's called strong toes. But B, he didn't catch the pass. It's just ironic to me. Anyway, I have to plug in my headset. You vamp for a little bit by making fun of Zay Jones because that actually entertains me. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Okay, so Duke Johnson or Alex Collins. I'm going to go with Alex Collins here. I think that he's emerging a little bit more of a all-around running back than you think. I like Duke Johnson in this matchup as well. I like both of them. If you're back, I'm going to ask you this because I think this is a tough one. Duke Johnson or Alex Collins? I said Alex Collins, but would love your opinion.
I'd probably go Alex Collins here as well. I like Duke Johnson here just because I think the Browns are going to be passing a lot. I think they're going to be playing from behind in this game. So I wouldn't mind Duke. But, I mean, again, I think this is going to be a very hard-nosed, low-scoring game, Detroit against the Ravens. So it doesn't, none of the running backs are going to be out of commission here. I don't think we're going to need to see a whole lot of Danny Woodhead in this. So I would probably tilt Collins here in this matchup as well.
I just think he's becoming a little bit more of an all-around back. I mean, I know he had rookie fumbling problems or whatnot, but I'm interested. And speaking of Zay Jones from Buffalo, which I love that you had to feel like you needed to say from Buffalo, like there's another Zay Jones, or Golden Tate.
Zay Jones or Golden Tate? Ugh. I mean, I'm going to go with Tate here because he's the better player. I mean, could Zay get like a garbage time thing? Yeah, Zay could get some garbage time, but oof, 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 oof.
Cook or Clay?
Cook.
Anderson. Oh, whoa.
Well, I was just going to say this about Charles Clay because I've gotten a lot of questions about Charles Clay. Number one, the matchup against the Patriots isn't very good. Okay, no. And if you look at just take a look at like DVOA coverage numbers there, and they rank 11th, and they're holding tight ends to like 45 yards per game. So you take that, and now couple it with the fact that what does Belichick do? Belichick takes the top two offensive weapons out of the game. So he's going to play to McCoy, and he's going to make sure that he takes care of LaShawn McCoy. And then Charles Clay has always been the favorite target for Tyrod Taylor. So if he takes out Clay and he takes out LaShawn McCoy, then you got to hope for the rest, for Zay Jones. You got to hope for Jordan Matthews here. So I'm out on Clay this week here. And I know you like him too.
I do like Charles Clay because he's his favorite target. And for a tight end, you always like that. But this week, I'm fine with Cook. It's against the Giants, so you have to do it. I'm trying to avoid that game entirely. I'm sure people will blow up in it, but it also could be 3-0 at the end of that game, and I would not be surprised. And again, Derek Carr, Mr. 300 yards and still only 13 fantasy points. It's amazing. Amazing. Antonio Brown owner, I have Juju too, but should I play Devontae Adams now or wait till Monday? I think you're fine. I'm waiting till Monday.
Yeah, I'd wait till Monday if you've got Juju.
Yeah.
Like, is Juju not starting for him? If Juju's on your bench and he's your pivot, stick with that because I think you're going to be much happier there.
Hunt or Hyde?
Hunt or Hyde? I'm going Hunt. I mean, listen, I think that the Bears-Niners game is going to be I think it's going to be a tight game. I think that Hyde should see some decent volume with Jimmy Grapes on the under center here. But I mean, I think that Hunt just has a better matchup. I think he's just got more working towards him for this.
I think the only reason they're changing up the play calling is to get Hunt more involved. That's the only thing that I can probably say assuredly about this change that we just heard about today. There is that to me, if anyone else is taking over this team, the number one thing, if anyone's watched any tape on Kansas City is we need to get Kareem Hunt back involved and we need to get him back to that early season form. That can be the only thought that's going on in Kansas City right now because it's the only thing that makes sense. So I agree with you. Standard League pick 2, Lynch, Hunt, Williams. I'm going Lynch and Hunt.
Lynch and Hunt.
Boom. DeMarco Murray, Duke Johnson, Kenyon Drake, Dion Lewis. We need to pick 2. Tired of trying to figure out Murray. I know, man. I know.
Say those names again. I don't need the added commentary from whoever's asking the question. I don't care. I don't care who you can trust or who you can't trust.
That's right.
I heard Hunt. So Hunt, right?
No.
No.
Murray,
I heard Drake.
Duke Johnson, Dion Lewis.
Ooh, Dion Lewis and
I was like, Dion Lewis is my only for sure.
Yeah, Dion Lewis, absolutely, and then go with the Drake. The Drake's going to see some rock solid carries today. He's probably going to end up with somewhere in the 20 touch neighborhood, whether it's rushing or receiving. Denver guys, keep in mind this. You look at the numbers overall for rushing and whatnot for the defense in the last 3 weeks. Okay, Denver has allowed the most fantasy points per game to the running back position, 5 rushing touchdowns allowed in those 3 games there for Denver. So I love the Drake.
Latavius Murray or Golden Tate and a PPR flex?
Latavius Murray.
Agreed.
I know he doesn't catch passes, but, short yards touchdown I see happening.
And again, guys, PPR, don't overthink PPR. You still want touchdowns and yards. Okay, so let's not get too cute. Carr or Winston, and here I'm gonna go Winston.
Yep, there you go. Oh, look at you.
I know.
Thank you.
Austin Eckler, DeMarco Murray, Dion Lewis need 2 PPR. I'm going Lewis and Eckler, if you can believe it. This is not a good matchup for DeMarco Murray either, guys.
It is no. Is any matchup good for DeMarco Murray at this point?
Dude, he has touchdown upside in every game. I am not as down on DeMarco Murray as everyone else. There are a lot of bad running backs out there, and DeMarco Murray is at least someone who has touchdown upside. I know they're going to mix it up between him and Henry. They always say that, though, and it always ends up being Murray scoring the touchdown. So I'm not interested in that narrative, but I just don't think they're going to do it that much. I don't like Marcus Mariota. I think he's hurting DeMarco Murray as well. I just think Deion Lewis and Eckler are great plays.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree.
Murray, Williams, Freeman, Landry. You didn't tell us which Murray, so we can't answer that. But standard flex, if you were to rate Jamal Williams, Devontae Freeman, and Jarvis Landry, to me, even if it's standard, you guys, Landry's become a touchdown guy. So he's a must start every week. So for me, out of this group, even I don't care what Murray you give me, I'm just going Landry.
I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, even if it's Latavius and not DeMarco, even if it's DeMarco and not Latavius, Landry's the play.
Yeah, and with Aqib Talib out too, the defense is going to have to shift for Denver. It's just all very weird there. Full point PPR, Freeman or DeMarco? We haven't talked much about Freeman.
I would go Freeman here. I'm kind of down on the Falcons running backs this week. Minnesota's run defense is phenomenal. They're giving up an average of only 75.5 yards per game to running backs. Pass catching running backs have been throttled by Minnesota's defense there. So I'm not in love with them, I think, but in this case, when you're talking about Murray versus Freeman, I'll tilt towards Freeman and just hope for that short yardage touchdown.
We have over 150 questions and we have 15 minutes. So we are going to go into a lightning round situation because we love you guys. You guys are super active today because you're all trying to get into your playoffs. We are too. Super pumped. So any thoughts on Gabbert and DraftKings early?
Sure. I don't really have any thoughts. He's not one of my favorite guys. I'm looking at a number of other quarterbacks. I haven't looked at the schedule for the early slate. But if Keenum or McCown are there, then guess what? That's where I'm going.
Okay. We have a very long question here about sitting two, and it's very long, though. So I'm going to say this and just tell me meh if you don't like them. Hunt, McCaffrey.
Okay.
That's a meh for me. Gordon.
Which one?
I'm assuming Melvin.
Okay.
Kamara. That's a meh for me.
Uh-huh.
Fournette.
Yeah.
Bell. That's a meh for me. Gurley. So basically, it's the national challenge. So they have to sit two. So I guess I would say Kamara and McCaffrey out of that group.
Yeah, easily. Yeah,
there you
boom.
Go. Perfect.
There you go.
We did it. And it was even a long question, you guys. Boom. Cup or Ginn, PPR.
Ooh, go Cup.
Great options, you guys. Hunter Mixon, one of the Sanders, Watkins, one of Sanders,
Watkins, and...
Oh, thank you. God, thank you. Logic. Sanders, Watkins, Deshaun Jackson, or Shepard.
Ugh.
Watkins
or Sanders. I mean, either, one of those. If it's PPR, I'd go Sanders. If it's standard, I'd go Watkins. He's got the better touchdown upside.
One flex in PPR, Marquise Goodwin, Jack Doyle, or Jamal Williams?
I can only have one of those guys?
For Marquise flex PPR.
Yeah, I'll go Marquise Goodwin here. I think that Jimmy Grapes is going to, chuck the ball downfield to him.
Freeman or Tevin Coleman, full point PPR?
Freeman.
All right. Juju or Hill, one point PPR. I think I'd go Hill there. You go Juju?
I'm going Juju. Juju, baby.
Even if Antonio Brown plays?
Even if Antonio Brown plays Juju.
Right, I like it.
So Cincinnati ranks dead last in coverage against the slot according to DVOA numbers. Dead last. Cincinnati.
Yeah. Jamal Williams or Joe Mixon? 0.5 PPR. Yeah.
Mixon.
Yeah, you guys, volume. Oakland defense versus Geno, or just pay up for defense this week.
Yeah, I'm paying up for defenses right now. Oh my God, on FanBall, the Chargers defense is like $2,900. I'm like, I'm loving that. I've got Chargers all over the place here. I'm using the Ravens defense against the Lions because I think Stafford's good for a couple of picks here. So that's where I would go. I do like the Raiders against Geno. They just really don't have a lot of upsides. Like David Amerson's probably going to be out. And really, it's like Khalil Mack or bust over there.
Yeah, no, I agree. And here's my problem. I feel like there's such a small difference between cheap defenses and the top defense, and that's why I always say to pay up. Frankly, it's less money than paying up for like a wide receiver or a running back, obviously, but there's a huge difference there. Not so much for defense, you guys. And Oakland, they have what, one interception on the entire year, and it was on Paxton Lynch. And you're thinking, okay, with Geno too, yeah, but they don't do anything else. So need 2.5 point PPR. Jarvis, Fitz, or Demaryius Thomas.
Jarvis, Fitz, or Demaryius Thomas? Only one?
Mm-hmm. Half point.
Jarvis. I know you want Jarvis. I'm going to go Demaryius here. Right. I'm feeling Demaryius. I can't say that I'm a Demaryius whisperer, but I'm feeling Demaryius in this game here. I think Simeon's going to help him light it up.
Lions D or Pittsburgh D? Lions playing against the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh playing against Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going Lions.
I'm going Lions too.
Joe Flacco is terrible. It's the most underreported story of the season. 0.5 PPR. We got McKinnon or Duke.
Oh, McKinnon.
All right. Need 3 running backs. PPR. Theo Riddick, Devontae Freeman, Devontae Booker.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler.
And he needs 3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Sit Booker.
There it is.
Put Booker on your bench, baby.
If you're playing DFS cash, would you go Thielen or Evans?
Ooh, Thielen. You know what? I mean, Evans if you're on FanDuel, Thielen if you're on DraftKings.
Beautiful. Smith or McCown?
McCown.
Right. Doyle or Henry today and rest of the way?
Henry now, Doyle later.
Love it. Need 2 in standard. Jeffrey, Engram, Zay Jones, D.D. Westbrook, Peyton Barber, C.J. Anderson. Holy mackerel. First of all, Jeffrey shouldn't be part of this question. You obviously start that person in this group, and then it's probably Zay Jones, correct?
I'll go D.D. instead of Zay. You like Zay. I hate Zay.
I hate Zay too, but I hate D.D. too. I hate them all. To me, like, there's Jeffrey, and then there's, like, the swamp that you're in.
There's Jeffrey and then there's crap.
It's like, so I guess we would go with Westbrook or Zay, and probably Westbrook is a better choice. You're right, against the Colts. I'm with you. I just feel like the Patriots are going to take everyone away except for Zay, because they're like, the dude only catches 3 out of 10 passes, so go for it. And he'll still catch 3, and one of them will be a touchdown. Jamal Williams or Hunt in PPR. We're going Hunt. Andy Reid not calling plays exactly. Marvin Jones Jr., Ted Ginn. We said we're going with Ginn. Winston or Smith?
Winston for me.
Yeah, it's probably safer, but I think Smith has more upside because Winston's just so inaccurate. DeMarco or Mixon? We're going Mixon. McKinnon or Freeman? That's McKinnon. A toughie.
Not for me, it's not. Jerick McKinnon, baby.
People. All right. Engram or Croft? Full point PPR.
Ugh. For that, I'll go Engram, because Croft's matchup against Pittsburgh sucks. There's no yardage upside there from him at all. I'm going to go with Evan Engram and just hope that, either A, Geno gets benched, or B, Geno connects with, like, his 3 passes that he does connect with, that they go to Engram.
Yeah. Flex, Woodhead, or Tate PPR? Guys, Tate. Stop it.
Tate.
I know he's stunk lately, but, like, come on now. Hunter Howard on FanDuel.
Ooh, Jordan Howard, baby. You want to talk about some volume against San Francisco.
Doug Baldwin, Alshon Jeffrey, or Michael Thomas?
Alshon Jeffrey.
All right. McKinnon or Duke? You said McKinnon. Okay. You know what? I don't hate Duke though, you guys, and I just want to put this out here just real quick. I think that he's the only person that could possibly have kind of this insider, because he kind of does everything. He's like an Allen wrench kind of thing for them. Diggs, Cup.
Allen wrench.
He is. He's like, what am I?
I don't know. My wife had me like put together new patio furniture. The best part about that patio furniture was that I had 17 Allen wrenches by the end of it all.
Nice. That's exactly what happens. That's called going to IKEA. Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, Juju Smith-Schuster, or Burkhead 1 point PPR.
Ooh. I'm going either Burkhead or Juju here, and I think I would probably go Juju.
Really, over Kupp in a full point PPR and Diggs?
Oh, Cup was in there? Ay, ay, ay. Yes over Diggs. Yes over Diggs. Not over Cup. Cup, go with Cup. Cup.
And a full point PPR, I think Cup is interesting.
Yeah.
Sanders, Watkins, Djax, or Shepard. We answered this one. We said Watkins with Sanders as a close number 2. Claire Cook, we said Cook. Green or Funchess, Goff or Wentz. Funchess has been rocking it.
Yeah, but AJ Green?
I don't know how you can sit AJ Green, but
Yeah,
you need to have Funchess in your lineup, and I don't understand this question, is what I'm trying to say.
What's the other one? It was Green and Funchess, and then what was the second part?
Goff or Wentz. I think you have to go Wentz.
Wentz, absolutely.
I think Goff's going to have a killer game, though. Goff is the best streaming quarterback in the National Football League. When he has a good matchup, he puts up 20-plus points. When he has a bad matchup, he's like 13 points. So you always play him in good matchups, and this is a good matchup, but you can't sit Wentz. So that's why we told you to trade these people away if you had 2 of these studs before this. But there you go. Eli Rogers, sleeper.
You could go to sleep on him.
There you go. Would you play? You guys, if you have a Murray question, please put L or D in front of it, because otherwise we can't answer them. It's ridiculous. Austin, Trailer, OJ Howard, Adam Shaheen.
Ooh, I'll go OJ Howard here. I guess, again, with Djax not at 100%, I think that's kind of where I'm tilting.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Shepard or Mixon, PPR?
Mixon.
Yeah, if it was any other week, I'd say Shepard. But this week, we got to go with Mixon. Standard bad matchup week for running back 2. I need 1. Hyde at Chicago, Freeman at Minnesota, or Ajayi at Seattle.
Hyde.
Yeah, I agree. 2 wide receivers and a flex. PPR. Diggs, Juju, Mixon, Burkhead.
2 wide receivers and a flex, so Mixon out of that group.
Yeah, it's Diggs and Juju, dude. And then the flex has to be Burkhead, I guess. Yeah. PPR need 2. Larry Fitzgerald, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. I think we already said Devontae Adams and Fitz, because we don't know what this new play calling is all about. We got Funches. Okay. Have both running backs, Jones and Williams. RB2 and flex or Williams and flex Tate or Woodhead. I don't think you should play both Jones and Williams today. I think that's just over the top.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
I would do Williams and Tate on this.
Agreed.
Right. Full point PPR for sure. There we go. Josh Gordon stat line, 4 for 53 yards, no touchdown. That possibly could be it. You guys, I just think you all need to temper those expectations. We talked about that a lot at the top.
Ooh. Wait a sec. Here you go. Big news here from the Atlanta Falcons. Both Trufant and Brian Poole are inactive today. So light them up, baby. Get your Diggs and your Thielen on. Yum! I like Thielen more than I like Diggs, but this Falcons secondary is atrocious. It also now puts Mohamed Sanu even more on my radar here, because Matt Ryan's going to have to throw. Xavier Rhodes going to be up. I love this little groove you got going here. I want some funky music going.
Yeah, I just feel those Vikings.
Yeah, I am. Oh, baby. And I'm loving my Keenum Thielen GPP stack even more.
And Sloan Rudolph, too. I know it's a bad quote-unquote matchup, but this whole defense is in disarray. It's all beautiful, you guys. And then Case Keenum, they're going to say, well, we're not quite sure if he's starting this week. Anyway, it's just... The guy is the offensive player of the month, and they're like, yeah, we don't know if he's going to do sorry.
Right? Mike Zimmer's got to be the biggest douche known to mankind. He really...
They love Teddy Bridgewater. I think this is actually more about Teddy Bridgewater being a great guy and an inspiration for the team and whatnot than it is about Case Keenum. But yeah, it's a little crazy. So obviously I'm dancing. I'm into this. We love it. I have Jordy, Rashard Matthews, and Sanders on my waiver. Should I pick up one of them and drop Kelvin Benjamin? I actually would. I think it's time to drop Kelvin Benjamin. He was barely a bill for 2 games. I think that you pick up Sanders.
Yeah, I would pick up Sanders here. Very interesting. Paul Charchian from Fanball actually was talking about Jordy Nelson's matchup and wondering if like now is the time to jump on Jordy Nelson, because the corner who ends up on the right side of the field for Tampa Bay is Brent Grimes, and Grimes has just been giving up yards and touchdowns like they're going out of style here. Now I don't know if that's going to change the way Hundley looks at Jordy, but I kind of feel like if you're just stashing a guy here for Benjamin, you might as well just give Jordy a look for right now. And if it doesn't happen this week, then you can immediately just drop him and go after Sanders.
Yeah.
But if Jordy goes off, Jordy goes off this week, you're never going to get him.
No, you're not. So I'm okay with that. And obviously, when Aaron Rodgers comes back, Jordy becomes relevant. I'm fine with that. I also think Sanders is always relevant. But either way, I would drop Kelvin Benjamin, is what I'm saying. I don't think you need to hold on to Kelvin Benjamin at this point. He has no rapport with his quarterback. He hasn't played with the team. We just don't know anything. Would you go with Marvin Jones or Emmanuel Sanders over Antonio Brown because you don't have a fill-in?
I mean, you're kind of going to have to. I mean, if there's nobody available from the Monday night game, then I'm going to have to pick one of them. Who is it again? It was Gross and Grosser. Who?
Yeah, it was Marvin Jones and Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, I don't like either of them in these matchups here, but I mean, I might as well. I would go with Jones just for the potential of like a red zone target or a big play.
Down after Thursday, need to win. Goff or Keenum. I think they're both good plays.
Keenum for me.
Love it. Seals Jones or Engram PPR. Is it crazy that I'm saying Seals Jones?
No, I'm saying Seals Jones too. Why the hell?
Over there.
They line him up like a receiver. They don't use him as a natural tight end either. So if Jermaine Gresham is active, which I do believe he is, Gresham could play the tight end spot, which puts Seals Jones into a different area.
PPR flex, Jamal Williams, Rex Burkhead, or Corey Coleman. We're going Burkhead here, right?
Yep.
All right. And Jamal Williams, Shepard, Juju, and TY pick 2 PPR.
I'll go Juju and TY there because the first 2 options are blah.
It's really bad out there. It's really bad. 0.5 PPR need 2. Ginn, Juju, and T. Williams.
Ginn, Juju, or T. Williams? You only need 2?
Just Ginn and Juju.
Ginn and Juju. Of
course. That's right. Any Lord Gordon love? Hayward is playing. Yeah, you guys, Melvin Gordon is a play.
No, he's probably asking for Josh Gordon.
Oh, Josh Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
No, there is not love for that.
You know what? Rewind this live stream to the beginning when we started talking about Josh Gordon here, so we don't have to repeat it. But I'll just sum this up. If you have anything on the line, money, playoff seeding, a playoff spot, your baby sister's cousin is going to drown her baby unless Josh Gordon plays, like any of that. Sit Josh Gordon.
Definitely the drowning baby. Roberts or Patterson, 0.5 PPR, which, by the way, we hadn't even talked about that. I'm staying away from the situation if possible. If you're absolutely desperate, though,
Seth Roberts
in the PPR, right?
Yep, Seth Roberts.
All right. Would you go? I need 2, please. Tevin Coleman, Ajayi, Riddick, Darkwa, Gore, Henry, Booker. Gosh, you have so many people here, John. I think you have to go with Tevin Coleman and Ajayi.
Gore. Oh, no.
Gore, you're right. Gore.
I'd probably go Gore and Ajayi here. I don't like the Falcons' backs. I don't.
Yeah. No, I agree. Would you stash Jordy or Josh Gordon?
I would.
Good question.
It is a good question there,
we
right?
just talked about both of it, yeah.
I would stash Jordy, because if Hundley does connect with him, if he does connect with him this week, it could be the start of some really nice play moving forward. If he doesn't, then he's an easy drop. I mean, Josh Gordon, I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed in him this week, but I would let somebody else handle that mess, and I'd take the shot on Jordy.
This is a Robbie Anderson question, but it's decent. It's Robbie Anderson or Cooper Kupp. They also put in Jamal Williams, which is a no-go in the flex spot. So would you go with Kupp or Robbie Anderson?
Robbie Anderson.
Drake or Latavius Murray?
Drake.
Devin Funchess or Robbie Anderson?
Robbie Anderson.
It's just hard for us to say to ever bunch them, you guys. Sorry. Cam or Breeze? Breeze.
Breeze.
Here you go. Ravens or Bears D?
Ravens.
Really? Over Bears against San Francisco? Okay. Marvin Jones or Aguilar, standard?
Marvin Jones or Aguilar? Aguilar. Aguilar.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game, you guys. I'm really excited about it. Hopkins, Keenan, Jones, or Cook?
Hopkins, Keenan, Jones, and Cook?
Brandon Cooks.
Right, and we can only start with
Julio Jones. I'm assuming just one out of the studs. I'm assuming. You know what? I might just go Hopkins. I don't know how you ever said Hopkins. Is that lazy? I mean, I just don't. Sorry, I mean, if this is, this has got to be a DFS question. Yeah, this isn't a regular question. So, I mean, out of those guys there, I like Hopkins for the just the sheer volume. Would you go DeMarco Murray or Booker?
I'd go Murray.
Okay. Would you put hold on for Monday with Martavis Bryant and Antonio Brown, or fade both and play Jared Cook in a PPR league?
Say that beginning part again.
Would you wait till Monday and decide whether it's Antonio Brown or Martavis Bryant, or would you fade both of them and just play Jared Cook today in a PPR league?
I would wait and use Bryant if Brown's out.
I would too. Chiefs or Raiders?
Chiefs.
Vikes, Cards, or Raiders?
Vikes, Cards, or Raiders? Vikings, I guess.
Raiders. Yeah. No? Vikings? Okay.
I mean, again, if this is this standard? Is this DFS? Like, that it matters a ton right there.
Yeah, about price.
Especially for the scoring. So I think the Raiders can keep the score low against the Giants for sure. But again, let's face it, it's not a good Raiders defense. They're not good with the takeaway giveaway action here. So they're not forcing a lot of turnovers. So maybe Geno has a couple of turnovers, but in order for that to really, for them to really get a lot of points for you, there has to be like a defensive touchdown there. Otherwise, it's a scoring bonus and minimal sacks and interceptions.
Last question, Hunt or Dion Lewis? 0.5 PPR. Not that it matters. They're kind of similar.
I'll go Hunt here because Hunt's getting the carries. Dion Lewis is going to split with Burkhead. Maybe they get James White involved here. So yeah, I would probably stick with Hunt.
Well, you guys,
Lewis.
There were a ton of news and situations and narratives and things that we all discussed. And I'm sorry that we weren't able to get to all of your questions, but there were a ton of them. So go to fantasyalarm.com right now. We have a live chat going. They're going to answer all of your questions before kickoff, I promise. So just go in there and they'll go boom, 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 boom. So we love that. When we're talking it out, we're trying to make it more general too for everyone so that we're not just going this, which I hope that you guys, that's why you guys tune in all the time, because we had a great attendance today. Lots of great questions. We try to make it applicable so that you're at least learning something, and hopefully we get to your question in at least a roundabout way so that you know how we feel about these circumstances. Go follow Howard on Twitter. He's fantastic at RotoBuzzGuy. You can follow me on Twitter at Brandon, her FFB. What else should I be plugging right now? Oh, you can get a free month of the Playbook Pro if you enter week 13, which is down below us in green. So make sure to do that. Anything else I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, if you guys really want this couch and you're willing to pay $675 for it, well then, by all means, you got to pick it up. You got to transfer it yourself, but I will settle on this couch for $675.
I'm going to start putting more furniture behind me if I'm going to get $675.
But do like a garage sale from now on, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I tried to get to your Facebook questions, but then it got inundated with couches. So it got a little weird. Best of luck to you guys over there on Facebook. But again, if you guys have any questions, we are here every single Sunday from 11 a.m. till noon. We went over a little bit here because you guys had so many questions. And I'm also here on Thursdays by myself from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. So I'm here for you earlier in the week too. And then of course things change and what have you. But it's always good to get that in before the Thursday night game. So thank you so much, everybody. We adore you. Have a wonderful week 13. Don't let that unlucky number freak you out. This is your week. You're going to get into your playoffs. You're going to win DFS money. We're all about it. Right, Howard?
Absolutely. Kill it, guys. Do it.
Bye. Have a good week.
See you later.